Good afternoon, everyone. This is Mental Health Awareness Initiative, and today we have a doctor from Lucknow. Her name is Dr. Soni Kewalramani. She is a counseling psychologist and has been doing this job for a long time. Welcome to the show, Dr. Soni. So, could
Thank
you
you so
tell me
much,
more
ma'am.
about yourself?
Yeah. Well, you have already introduced me, and like you said, I have over 14 years of experience teaching and doing counseling. I did my PhD from Lucknow University, and my topic of research was emotional intelligence and Trigonian management. So I have been trying to relate and help people with their emotions for a long time now, including my PhD work. I'm also a clinical hypnotherapist, clinical and spiritual hypnotherapist from ECA. So that's about me, and with my limited knowledge and whatever little I know about counseling, I'll try and share my views as asked by Hina ma'am. So that's it. That's all about me.
That's really nice. So, you're helping out a lot. Like, how is the scenario in Lucknow right now related to mental health issues that you must have faced, especially during the pandemic?
The last 1 year has been a challenge for us, all of us, more so for the therapist, for a very simple reason, because we are trained, we know what to do with people's emotions, but something which happens maybe once in 100 years, no, we were not trained, we were not ready. Just like the population, just like the general population, we as mental health therapists were also not trained to face this. So as a Lucknowite, as a person who has been witnessing all this for the past 1 year now, more than a year, it has been challenging. I had my own issues to deal with during this period, because something that I always say, heal the healer. So not only has this time being a challenge for me as a therapist, it has also been a challenge for me personally, because there have been many issues that I had to deal with myself. Like I said, heal the healer. Then there have been many things that we have observed around us, like, for example, increasing levels of stress, anxiety. And we as humans are wired to fear the unknown. So this is what pandemic is all about. No one knows what this is. No one knows when this will end, and no one knows what is happening. So that uncertainty factor, yes, it has been witnessed in Lucknow as well, like all over the world. So we have been through what exactly people all over the world are going. We have been a part of that journey.
Very true. Like, it is a global effect, and everyone is getting affected by it in some way or the other. Yeah. What is your take on mental health? How it is happening over there, and you are dealing with it?
Okay. So while answering this question, Hina, I would like to tell you something about 3 steps that I always observe, be it a pandemic or be it anything for that matter.
Okay.
Whenever faced with a problem, a mental health issue, if you ask me, it's a kind of, you can say it's a kind of a model that has come in. I have not developed this model, by the way, but this is what I have observed. There are 3 steps which happens invariably. Number one, awareness. What exactly is happening around us? What is this? Like, if I take the example of pandemic, what is this pandemic? What is this COVID-19 all about? Will it affect me? Am I aware? Do I know enough? What is happening around me? Second step, which is a challenge. And since you asked me about mental health, I'll be talking in general terms, not only about pandemic, because mental health is something, yes, pandemic has brought the importance of mental health to the forefront. But that does not mean once the pandemic ends, we'll go back to our tabooed thoughts on mental health. So this is a general thing that happens. Number one, awareness of whatever problem we are going through, like I said. Number two, acceptance. Now, this is the toughest part, because we don't have that much of energy in us to accept that this has happened. A pandemic is there, and when I say it's not epidemic, it's pandemic, it's all over the world. Like I always ask my clients, भाग के जाओगे कहाँ? अगर इंडिया में होता तो कहीं और भाग जाते, if you have the money, but यहाँ पे you can't go out of planet earth. So it is a pandemic. We have to accept, in order to take care of our mental health, if you really want to do something about it, acceptance has to be there. Not only in terms of pandemic, even in terms of relationship, even in terms of if someone loses a job, even if someone loses a relationship, even if someone is facing n number of problems that we have as far as the mental health is concerned. So the second most important and the toughest part is acceptance. And as a therapist, Hina, even you would agree that this is where we spend the most time with our clients, even in a session. I mean, the maximum amount of hours in sessions are spent upon acceptance. So the person accepts what has happened. Once the acceptance comes in, then obviously grief does not go away, pain does not go away. But now, since I have accepted what is happening, change will come. Because unless and until I don't accept that there's a need to change, we can't change. And there's one challenge that every therapist faces, and that challenge is, how many therapists does it take to change a light bulb? One. But the light bulb should want to change. So the therapist faces the challenge that the client should want to change. So once people in general are through with these two stages, awareness, this is what is happening to me, acceptance that this has happened to me, only then the change will come. And this change includes everything that we have been talking about. क्या करना है, कैसे करना है, क्या कर सकते हैं, what are the hints, what are the techniques, like you'll be asking me, I'm sure you'll be asking in a while from now, तो मैम करें क्या? Okay, but जिसको भी refer कर रहे हैं, is that person ready to change? Has that person accepted? So I presume that we are on the stage where we have accepted what is happening. Only then the change will come in. Why is this situation so tough, this pandemic? Number one, no one knows how to deal with it. Absolutely no one knows how to deal with it. If you feel that there are experts on pandemic, no, they are not. Because one theory says it happens once in 100 years. So none of us have lived 100 years to share our experiences. So no one knows how to deal with it. Number two, not knowing how to deal with it, not think about it, is it a strength or a weakness? We have been viewing it as a weakness. Why not as a strength? जब किसी को पता ही नहीं है ये क्या है, then why can't we make it a strength? Why can't we look for things which are good in it because the others are not? Why is this not happening? Humans don't want to leave the comfort zone, even if that comfort zone keeps them in pain. Why? Comfort zone is known. We know what that comfort zone is all about. Even if it is pain, I know how to live with my pain. But the pain of growth is something that I would avoid. We are afraid of the unknown. Growth ke beyond kya hai, mujhe nahi pata. So I'm happy with my pain. This is exactly what happens with people who are problem focused. You might have met people. There are two kinds of people in your life. मैं पूरी दुनिया को American, Indian, Hindu, Muslim इसमें नहीं बांटती, सिर्फ दो में बांटती हूँ. Problem focused, solution focused. Why? There are people around you who would like to discuss the problem. What's going wrong? What is happening? And again and again and again and again, they are going through the problem. Why? Because that problem comforts them. They know how to live with the problem. Once the problem is resolved, now what? Now the things are unknown. Ab kya karu apni life ke saath? So they don't want to come out of it. So these are the problem focused people. Next group of people, solution focused. They will discuss the problem, but they will analyze the problem to the extent where they can work on the solutions. So once that solution is reached, the problem does not matter for me. So for me, problem is important in order to understand what the problem is, but I don't want to live in that problem. Same is what is happening with the pandemic also. All of us who want to live with this fear, pandemic, ये हो रहा है, वो हो रहा है. हम सिर्फ मीडिया में हैं, हम सिर्फ व्हाट्सएप के ज्ञान में हैं, हम सिर्फ फेसबुक के फेक मैट्रिक्स में हैं. But those of us who want to understand what is happening, those of us who are solution focused, we know what to do. By now, every living being on earth, I mean humans, animals को तो फर्क ही नहीं पड़ रहा, they know what to do. They know to wear mask. They know how to maintain. ये pandemic पूछ क्या रहा है? It is asking you to maintain your personal hygiene. अगर मैं बहुत मोटे terms में बोलूँ तो. And those of us who know what to do, they are doing it. I'm not saying it's a 100% guarantee against the pandemic. but we are doing it. We are doing what needs to be done. And we are not stuck with numbers and figures. What will you gain out of, repeated exposure to this media news? What will happen? 1000 केस है कि 500 केस है, मुझे क्या फर्क पड़ रहा है? I am as susceptible to this virus if there are 2 cases as compared to when there are 2000 cases. What am I supposed to do? मुझे करना क्या है? Solution क्या है? Maintain my personal hygiene. So this is what the problem is all about. Problem should be discussed to the extent where we know. Problem also empowers you if you take the right kind of information. And this is the way to look at your mental health as well. Next is, throughout this 1 year, we have lived in fear. What have you achieved? Kuch achieve hua? When we lose the fear of losing, we can only gain. There's a point to which you may go down. उसके बाद ऊपर आने के अलावा कोई रास्ता नहीं है. There's a limit to which you can fall. उसके बाद तो fall भी आ गया. अब ऊपर के अलावा कोई रास्ता नहीं है. So when we lose the fear of losing, then we are free to gain. What can we do? I'm sure this is going to be your question.
No, it's actually, one thing wherein you have mentioned that, okay, the moment we step out of our comfort zone, take the efforts to realize, like, okay, this is the problem, this is the addressable part, and now it is like we have to go ahead and do something related to the solution part. That was like the crux of all that you have said, and I'm sure people will realize by listening to you that we don't need to run away or get spiraled only by the discussion in the problem part. We need to spiral and get ahead and move on with life with the solution. After the discussion of the problem, identification and maintaining your hygiene, your space to your own best capacity. So it's like, okay, the awareness parts come in, the acceptance part comes in, The next step would be
change.
Amazing.
I was just coming to that. Change. What do we need to change? What can we do about it? This is my personal experience that I'm sharing with all the listeners here. Minimize your media exposure. It's something that I have learned from my own experience. Because like I said, I have not only been a therapist here, I am also a client here because I have been my own client and we all need therapy in times like this. So what can we do? Minimize your media exposure. I'm not asking you to stop watching news and, get cut off from the world altogether, but limit that. The kind of information that you need to know, uske baad, limit yourself, because there are theories and views that are going around and they are also important. But is it important for you to know each and every point? I don't think so. Second, WhatsApp. My God. जितना साइंटिस्ट ने दवाइयां नहीं निकाली हैं, उतनी थ्योरीज हमारे WhatsApp पे आ चुकी हैं. I mean, if it was that simple to work around this virus, then तो कुछ फर्क ही नहीं होता. फिर तो हम आज ही डिटेल डिस्कशन ही नहीं कर रहे होते. Please, it's a request. Please don't trust everything that you read. Understand that this is all, there are people who are creating some kind of information and people are not that responsible. They don't cross-check. And one of the major reasons why there have been so much of fear and, suicides bhi ho rahe hain. We all are aware of that because people feel कि फिर से lockdown हो जाएगा, फिर से सब बंद हो जाएगा. Okay, if it had to happen, it will happen. But what's the point in thinking about it so much? WhatsApp is all information with you. So please don't trust every word that you read. Third thing that I would suggest is learn to live with it. This is a change that has occurred in our life. And if anything, I mean, even if we take up our history books, whenever there is something like this happening, it happens for a number of months or year or so, which has already happened now. And people learn to live with it. We are in the process of healing ourselves. We are in the process of getting ourselves vaccinated. There are attempts. People are trying. People who can do something, they are trying. In the meanwhile, learn to live with it. If the government is asking you to wear your mask, at least wear that mask. I mean, I'm not asking you to leave all your precautions aside. Learn to live with it. This is a new normal. Where do we stand after all this? Yes, we have gained knowledge as compared to last year. This time when we are witnessing an increased number of cases, we know more about the virus as compared to what happened last year. Last year तो किसी को कुछ नहीं पता था ये है क्या. At least now we know and we are in the process and it will take time. So what we know can be our strength. What we have been doing can be our experience and we will come out of it as well. एक बार वेव आके कम हुआ ना. So let us be hopeful. Let us at least keep our vibrations high. At least not live in fear. At least let's spread love. At least let's spread understanding. This is a beautiful time for humans to connect with humans. And what exactly is happening when this happens? We all are in this together. The world is united like never before. We are no more belonging to a country or a caste or a religion. We stand as humans. Is this not power enough? Is this not empowering for us? And we know what to do. At least on our end, we know हमें क्या करना है. We know we will get back to normal. We were almost there. Once again, ठीक है, थोड़ा सा detour हुआ है, but we knew life will get back to normal. It was already on track 1 month back. So time will come when we'll get back to normal. So can we work from the frequency of love? Can we do something that we have not done before? Can we be more caring towards others? Can we stand together? If this is the lesson that this virus is trying to teach us, because humans के कहने से तो कुछ हुआ नहीं, then I think virus हमको एक बहुत बड़ी learning देके जाएगा. Stand together, because as far as nature is concerned, there are no geographical lines being drawn. There are no divisions as far as who worships whom here. क्योंकि आप में से और मुझसे कोई नहीं पूछ रहा कि इंजेक्शन अमेरिकन ने बनाया, इंडियन ने बनाया, हिंदू ने बनाया, मुस्लिम ने बनाया. We are not even bothered. So when it boils down to what actually matters, it is the human life. And if this is what the virus is trying to teach us, learn the lesson. Please work from the frequency of love. At least change इसमें ऐसे नहीं आएगा कि हमें मैं आपको ये बता दूं breathing exercise करिए या फिर guided imagery करिए. You have everything available. By now we have tried and tested everything, because this internet has been very active in the last 1 year. There have been many such programs which have told you. I would have given you a lecture on how to use guided imagery, and I can do it here as well. But what's the point? That's not new. That can be found anywhere on the internet. Even if you Google the word guided imagery, you will find 101 ways how to reduce your stress. But it's the way you think. It's the way you view. It's the way you perceive the situation. If you really ask me what needs to change, since this is a pandemic, it's the perception that needs to change. It's the frequency at which we work that needs to be lifted. Fear में work करने से कुछ नहीं हुआ. अब love पे work करके देख लो. अब care पे work करके देख लो. So it's like, this is about. हाँ जी ma'am.
So it's like when you are talking about the change, the change that the virus had brought about globally, it's like making us realize the basic emotions that we are born with.
Yes.
You know, to be caring, to be loving in nature, to be accepting everyone as they are, rather than creating boundaries as we have created it in the real life. So it's like also a beautiful way that you have expressed that, okay, if we have done this for previous year, let's change and try to do this year like something very different. Exactly. Going back to the roots. It's
going back to the roots now. Very true.
Right. You have actually, I'm sure all the listeners will get empowered. Let's say going back to the roots, okay, and not looking at the loop that you had talked about, wherein only the problems are discussed, yes. Jump to the other loop, wherein you find the solution part. That is a wonderful, it's like you are talking about guided imagery. This is a guided imagery itself, wherein the steps are there. So right. It's wherein you had started with the awareness part, going to the acceptance, and then the change follows. And all that is happening only if you are believing in it. Right. If you are ready to make that change. So if any personal experience you went through wherein you had experienced mental health stress part, and how did you cope?
Oh, I'm one of those people who can't stay at home, to be very open about it. So me being asked to stay at home, because I even on Saturdays I try and work, so I was hardly found at home. And these last few months, because it was work from home condition, I had to be, confined to my place all the time. So initially I thought I won't be able to stand that, but towards the end, by the time we reached towards the end of the lockdown period, I realized that this is what human strength is all about. Once I thought I won't be able to stand my place for more than an hour, but then I was at home for 10 months and I was okay with that. Even that I survived, and I found ways how to keep myself busy, and I found ways how to reach out to the world through different mediums. So that was a learning for me.
So you actually practiced what you preach.
We all should actually, otherwise I don't think I'll be speaking with so much of conviction because it has to be a practiced session. And as a therapist, we all would agree that yes, we do live psychology, we do live what we preach.
Well, very true, very true. And it's like wonderful to hear from you and the energy that you had sent across. Hopefully, the listeners will be again thinking about, okay, now this is the guided imagery, new tools that they have, and they can experiment at least once, and then they see as to which level they are in. And they can always reach out to you on the social media.
Definitely.
Right? Okay. Thanks a
Go
lot.
by the same name. I go by the same name on social media as well. So I can be searched on any of the platforms, known platforms. I mean, if the younger generation is listening to me, you won't find me on the newer apps, but the established ones, I'm there.
Okay, that's wonderful. Thanks a lot for your time, Doctor, and hope to
So
connect
much.
with you with another
Definitely.
session. Yeah, thanks a
Definitely.
lot.
Anytime.
Take care
Thank you,
and be
Hina.
safe.
Thank you. All the
Yeah.
best.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.